Boys and girls, and welcome to part 2 of our using timelines lesson, where I will help you be able to write about the key details. So look at this using timelines cover. When I was looking at it, I noticed something pretty interesting. I noticed that this one you read vertically, going up and down. But then let's look at the one in chapter 1. In chapter 1, this one about a timeline of a week at school, look at this. This is horizontal. And you read this from left to right. Isn't that interesting? Huh. I thought that was very interesting because I told you that yesterday I was reading for the purpose of finding out how timelines are alike and different. And we've also been studying key details. So let's talk about how timelines are alike and different. The key details in this using timelines story. So what can different kinds of timelines show? What can different kinds of timelines show? Well, I'm going to go ahead and open this up and look at the table of contents. And I'm going to look at those chapter titles again. Chapter 1, a timeline of a week at school. Chapter 2, a timeline of the school year. Chapter 3, a timeline of the United States. Chapter 4, a timeline of famous buildings. Can those give you clues? Can those chapter titles give you clues to answer that question? What can different kinds of timelines show? I'd like you to try to answer this question here. What can different kinds of timelines show? Hint, look at that table of contents if you need. And we're going to use this sentence frame. Timelines can show. Timelines can show. Sorry, I forgot to do this. So let me repeat that again. Key details. What can different kinds of timelines show? Hint, look back at the table of contents if you need some help. Those chapter titles can give you some more information. So you're going to use this sentence frame. Timelines can show. Timelines can show. What's your idea? Go ahead and share it with me. Oh, great. Okay, let's hit pause and we'll get a few more. Okay. So I'm hearing timelines can show a lot of things here. Woo! And I've made them into a key details web. Let's look at some of the things we have here on our key details web. Timelines can show months and dates. Somebody else was thinking timelines can show hours. Somebody else was thinking timelines can show events in one whole year. Timelines can show when historic buildings were built. Oh, there was a chapter on that, wasn't there? Timelines can show events in one day. Timelines can show events in 1 week. Timelines can show events from the past. Timelines can show things vertically and horizontally. Oh yeah, that was my noticing. I did add that one. That was a key detail about how timelines can be different. What was yours? Do you have another one you'd like to add? Was there a key detail I missed? So remember, when you are looking for events, you want to look at a couple, sorry, started playing the audio and it just frightened me. That was pretty funny.
Maine.
So as I was saying, you want to look at 3 different things on the timeline. You want to look at the words, the pictures, the times and dates on the timeline, because they're going to give you more details about the events that happened. You're going to learn more about what happened if you look at those things, the words, the pictures, and the dates and times. And timelines, they can look different, but they all have a line with events listed in order, and that sequence is really important. So let's just pause for a minute and think about this web, our key details that we came up with. What key detail do you find most interesting? What key details about timelines did you find most interesting? So we're going to answer this in a complete sentence. The detail I find most interesting is... The detail I find most interesting is... What was it? Which one? Maybe it was one I didn't have on my web. What is it? Oh, yeah. The one day one was interesting to me too. I was thinking about making my own timeline with what we do in a school day in the classroom. Like maybe I could do a timeline for 8:25 school day starts. Maybe I could do 10:20 recess. What do we do in between? What am I missing on that timeline? Maybe you could make one for me. Or maybe you could do one for what we do the whole week, and you could put what we do on Mondays with garden, or maybe when Mr. Eric came to teach us music on Fridays. Maybe you could do a timeline like that. Could be a fun project for you. So we were talking about sequence. Let's go ahead and look at chapter 1, a timeline of a week at school. Look for signal words. Bella and Jay made a timeline of a week at school. First, they write each day of the week. Next, they write an event that happens on each day. Then, Bella and Jay use their list to make the timeline. Last, they draw pictures to illustrate their timeline. The pictures help show what the words mean. Did you hear some signal words? Do they help you keep the events in order? Sequences. The order things happen in. They have to go in the right order. Did you find them? First, next, then, and last? You got it. So what did they do first? What about after that? And then what? What did they do last? Did it help you keep it in order? Good for you. So the last thing that I would like to do with you is I would like us to compare and contrast two of these timelines. So let's look at the chapter 1 school week that we just did and compare that with the chapter 3. Chapter 3 is a timeline of the United States. And this one says, this timeline shows events that happened in the past. You can see when each event happened in the United States. Was the Revolutionary War before or after the Civil War? Was George Washington president before or after astronauts landed on the moon? And you can read the timeline to figure those things out, right? Do you see George Washington? Do you see the astronaut? So let's compare and contrast these timelines now. Just look at the timelines. And think, how are they different? They are different because, you notice that the school timeline is only showing 1 week, whereas the US timeline is showing a whole lot of years, moving through a lot of history. And school's talking about things in the present. Yeah, that's good noticing. Oh, and the US one is talking about things in the past. Oh. Where is anything different about their labels? Pictures? Words? How they chose to include different details? Now let's do a comparison and think they are similar because how are they the same? What's the same about them? Which way were they going? Which way did we read them? Oh yeah, we read them horizontal, left to right. And they both did have labels and pictures. Good job. Good job noticing that was the same. Anything else? What else is the same? Compare, contrast, different. What'd I miss? You tell me. All right. So for your writing today, for your assignment, a key detail about timelines is blah, blah, blah. This is what you're going to write. Think about it. A key detail about timelines is. Let's remember, pause it if you need to so you can copy the sentence starter, the sentence frame. And pause this if you need to remember some of the things we talked about today. Okay. I look forward to hearing what you thought was a great key detail. Thanks for listening.